Majid, the council member of the ACCA, members of the parliament, ambassadors, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and good morning. The previous speeches are so informative and eloquent. I think I had a draft, but I think most of the information has already been shared by the previous speakers. So here I just want to talk about my personal experience of Sino-Pac relations, and along with the current latest experience about CPEC. As Mr. Mushahid Hussain mentioned that, in fact, I have been long associated with Pakistan. I joined the foreign service in 1991, almost 30 years ago. But from the very beginning day when I joined the foreign service, I was assigned to the Pakistan desk. So starting from 1991, I have been associating myself for the relations between China and Pakistan. So my first posting in our embassy as attaché was 1994. I spent 5 years here. My second posting as deputy chief is about 10 years ago from 2007. This is my third posting, maybe my last posting as ambassador here. So I witnessed the development, the history, at least for the last 20, 30 years. I should say that the biggest difference of our previous relationship compared with the relationship when we started the project of CPEC is that I think from 1990s, maybe for the first decade of this new century, our relationship, basically we are partners. Basically, we are friends. We have very good relation. But the CPEC, the differences of the CPEC brings about is that we have an overall design. We have more intentional focus about our economic cooperation. In 1990s, we did have a lot of projects, but these projects basically were sector-based. Basically were, I should say, manufacturing or project which is not intentionally or scientifically designed. But CPEC, we have a joint coordination and cooperation mechanism. We have a long-term plan. We have a monitoring as well as advisory committees and councils to look after the projects. So I should say the first benefit for the CPEC is a kind of transformation of our bilateral relationship. It's a kind of enhancement of our bilateral cooperation. My personal experience, for example, I still remember during my first posting in 1997, the first motorway was opened at that time is from Islamabad to Lahore. As a junior diplomat, as a foreigner in Islamabad, even I, myself, was so interested. Although I don't have the chance to go to Lahore, but I want to drive on this motorway. But today, when I came to Pakistan again, this motorway is no more fresh. It's everywhere. From here to Peshawar takes less than 2 hours, and a lot of more motorways. Even from Islamabad to the airport, I think the infrastructure, the development. Welcome, thank you. This kind of infrastructure is yes. This kind of infrastructure is striking. It's a very exciting development for people. Second, I should say that during my previous postings or during my previous stay in Pakistan, that the load shedding was a big problem. I still remember about 10 years ago or 20 years ago, a lot of Chinese companies, a lot of Chinese businessmen, they came to Pakistan. The best business is to sell the household electricity generators, because every house needs a kind of generator for themselves. But these years, I don't after I came here about 3 months ago, I think this business from the China has been shrunk. It's shrinking now. And under the CPEC, as the previous speakers mentioned, energy is one of the major parts of the CPEC. I think according to our plan, or according to our plan along with the Pakistani side, till the 2020, toward the year of 2020, that the Pakistan's total need of the electricity is about 3,300 megawatt, or 33,000 megawatt. But right now, that when we can complete all these energy projects under the CPEC framework by 2020, this 33,000 megawatt need of the electricity will be achieved for you. Of course, we have hydropower power plant, we have the thermal power plant, we have the nuclear power plant, and also we have the renewable power plant. And so far, I think already we have 6 power plants that have already been completed. They are contributing to your state grid. Third one, I should say that, as everyone mentioned, it is basically the infrastructure building, because we believe that the future boom or the future development of economy, basically they are relying on the infrastructure development. So under the CPEC, basically, for example, we are developing the Gwadar port as a transportation port or commercial port for the future development of the coastal areas of Pakistan. We are upgrading the KKH, Karakoram Highway, in the northern part of Pakistan. We are also building the motorway from Karachi to Peshawar as the major trunk of the future transportation. And of course, on the railway sector, we are discussing with your government to upgrade your railway. We call the Main Line 1, that also from Karachi to Peshawar. For this development, for the basic infrastructure, I think that finally we can benefit the manufacturing empowerment. We can benefit the production capability for the Pakistani manufacturing sectors and industries. So for this, I think this is another, I should say, we are going to benefit from the CPEC. And thirdly, that we are discussing another aspect is the SEZs, Special Economic Zones. And we have already several discussions with your government. But I think that for the development of the SEZs, we are going to engage the private sector, the private manufacturers of Pakistan first. We have several ideas, and I can say principles, when we are going to build these SEZs in different provinces. For example, that it should be a kind of joint ventures. Second, the products should be export-oriented. We should produce these products which aimed to be exported by Pakistan towards either China or other areas. And thirdly, vocational training centers, skilled labor should be developed or should be facilitated on these SEZs. So I think that for the development of SEZ, then we have a bigger chance to serve the community, to serve the manufacturers, to serve the private sectors. And finally, we come to the social aspect of the CPEC. We are building schools like in Gwadar. Also, we are building vocational training center in Lahore. We are also providing, we call the CPEC scholarship program, CPEC training programs. We are also providing that CPEC community building programs, for all this kind of social building, because we believe the CPEC, the major purpose or the final purpose is benefit the society, is to benefit the people. So in fact, we have a lot in the pipeline, and we have also a lot in the plan. But another point I want to make is that the CPEC, it is a project between the two governments of China and Pakistan. But this project also can mobilize the other parties' participation. For example, from the Chinese side, a lot of private investors, a lot of private sectors, they are all come to Pakistan to explore the business cooperation. I heard that the biggest e-company, Alibaba, they are coming to Pakistan for investment next month. We have a lot of other investors out of the CPEC framework. They are coming on their own to explore the business cooperation. Second is that a lot of third countries or third parties, they are expressing their interest in joining this CPEC or sharing the business opportunities from CPEC, like the World Bank, like IDB. Also from the Chinese sector or others like the AIAB, like Silk Road Fund, those multilateral financial institutions. There are some regional countries because CPEC also provides another opportunity for the regional cooperation, for the regional betterment of the not only South Asia, but also West Asia, Central Asia. So this is, I think, what we can benefit from the CPEC. But I have to say that this CPEC, in fact, we had this conception starting from 2013, and this Belt and Road Initiative. But I think a real start came in 2015 after our president, Mr. Xi, when he visited Pakistan. So this is a new practice, not only for China, but I think also for Pakistan. This is a new model or a new form of cooperation, even between China and Pakistan. And since it is a new, then I think it needs a very proper preparation, a very proper consultation, and also a very proper planning. Since it is a new project, definitely I can see it should have a kind of shortcomings, deficiencies, or weakness. So why this kind of discussion, this kind of report are very much helpful to us because it can help us to have a better practice and management or plan for the project. Why we welcome these concerns, welcome these criticisms, welcome these different views, because you care about CPEC, because you want to make CPEC a success. So this is the intention. So when we say that, for me, since the past 3 months, I have collected a lot of input from the expertise, from the scholars in Pakistan or in other institutions, global institutions like ACCA. I think I think it is a new project, and during this process, we have to learn, we have to improve, we have to adjust. But the purpose is to let this project be a success. But I think with the cooperation from the Pakistani government and the Pakistani people, this project definitely will take root, and it will grow, and it will blossom. And finally, it will bear fruits, not only for Pakistan, but for China, for the whole region. Thank you.